Now fleeing the force. New stats showing police retirements have surged by 45% nationwide since Black Lives Matter protests erupted in the spring of 2020.
That big exodus having a big impact on a lot of cities across the country, like Atlanta, where homicides are up nearly 60%. Founder of the Wounded Blue, retired Lieutenant Randy Sutton, joins us now to weigh in. Randy, thanks for being here. It's good to see you. You said something that was pretty alarming. You said the depth of this crisis is not even beginning to be felt. That is alarming and should be to so many people across this country. When do we feel the depths of this?
Oh, it's coming at us like a freight train. It's very important that people understand that this law, what I'm calling a law enforcement exodus syndrome, has just begun. We have seen now really an exodus of cops from all over the nation, big cities, small towns, and the results are, for instance, in Asheville, North Carolina, they're down 1/3 of their force. They have just issued a report that they can no longer accept a number of calls for service, and this is just the beginning. And what's heartbreaking about this, Jillian, is my organization, the Wounded Blue, we deal with injured and disabled cops, but those injuries are often emotional and psychological as well. And it's really taking a toll. This entire anti-law enforcement attitude, the government turning its back on the officers, is having a severe. It's becoming a severe crisis as far as mental health. So there's a lot happening here, and there is, when an officer leaves the department, it takes years, up to 3 years, to replace that officer through training and getting that officer up to the experience level.
Yeah.
Here are the numbers so far. Again, focusing on big city homicides year over year, 2020, 2021. I'm a broken record because I always seem to do this full screen. Again, 2020, not a great year. Look how much worse 2021 is. New York, 12%. Atlanta, 58%. Minneapolis, 81%. And that Portland number, mind-boggling at 533%. I want to pin you down a little bit more to Jillian's question onto specifics. When you talk to your colleagues in law enforcement, how much worse are they expecting it to get in light of all these retirements? Are we talking spreading further into suburbs? Are we talking numbers with Portland going into, the thousands or something horrific like that? What are we talking about, Lieutenant Sutton?
Yeah, we are, as a matter of fact, because not only are officers retiring, when a cop has 20... or at least prior to this, to 30 years. But now what's happening is the minute they have their time in, they're gone. But even more critical is the officers who aren't waiting to get to retirement. They're just leaving. And then you add to this the crisis of a lack of recruitment. You see, even in Las Vegas, where there hasn't been a big defunding movement, recruitment is down 57%. Right. This is the pipeline is drying up of recruits, and the danger here is that when police agencies don't have enough recruits, what do? They diminish the standards.
Well, right. And to that point. Oh, sorry if we're on a delay there. If I can hear myself talking. To that point, if you have fewer recruits and then you have less money in the budget for things like training, those fewer recruits aren't going to be up to the same standards of training. So it's a domino effect. Lieutenant Sutton, thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate your time and your insight.